there's a bit of a situation, a power situation in the country. Remember about 2-3 years ago, the entire country suffered severe power situation. South Africa, I'm talking about now. In fact, it got so bad that they had to ration electricity. Some parts would have electricity for about 6 hours, some would have for about 12 hours, and so on and so forth, depending on, the usage as well as the need. So by that I mean some areas had what's it called, industries and organizations that just needed a lot to be powered. But then we're hearing an update on the story now that there is even going to be more of that electricity situation in the country. It's going to be facing severe power cuts because Eskom is struggling with generating more power that can serve the entire country. Anyway, you all know, I mean, if you're listening to me from Nigeria, you would know what it feels like to not have electricity. They've announced controlled outage. They're cutting about 3,000 megawatts of electricity from the grid due to something they call temporary setback. Those are their words. So it's known as load shedding. You may be familiar with it. I don't know if you remember that there was a time South Africa actually celebrated 10 months of uninterrupted power supply. But here we are again. The situation. The electricity distribution company hiring for the weeks ahead. So, quite, personal to me. I remember some people that I have met over the course of time being victims of situations like this. And I'm glad that the United Nations is finally responding to things like this. In fact, when they were explaining why they were making this new move, they said, they acknowledge of the world for peacekeeping mission, health mission, whatever mission that they are sent for, and they leave them. They just pack their bags and leave, leaving these women with the children. I've seen a couple of movies made on on themes as this one, but I'm glad that there is finally a response to situations like this. Attention over the years to this particular aspect of our work on improving conduct and discipline. But we now have a focus on this because these are children that are left behind a lot of times. Very correct. It is really our role as the United Nations to acknowledge our responsibilities and to work with member states who have the peacekeepers who have been part of the problem that we have been dealing with. Now, in some cases, children are born and left behind in conflict zones where their fathers were serving, and once they round off their work, they just carry their bags and leave, leaving these children with the mothers. The UN has received hundreds of paternity and child support claims, some recorded as far back to 2006, and born from MONUSCO peacekeepers are suffering as their mothers lack the means to raise them. This is Catherine still speaking. She said, I asked MONUSCO to support and help them because soon these children will be able to help the country. It is also important to help them find their fathers so that they can take responsibility. Member states are supposed to resolve these claims, but more than 70% remain unaddressed. But regardless of the report of what has happened in the past, going forward now, I am hoping that this would, just change everything and give the direction that we need. I don't know if you have, anybody like that. And this is not even calling anybody out. This is just acknowledging that, yes, we have these people with us who, for no fault of theirs, have had to face certain situations. It's just crazy because you practically went to heaven and called forth these children and you just leave them to their fate. Conversations, that psychological damage that you do by your absence in the life of a child would leave them really scarred at the end of the day. But I'm glad that they are making the right moves now. Kudos to them on that one. Really exciting news on it. All right, let me see some of your reactions so far. Hey, you can send in your reaction. I'll take them. I've been so focused on, I was given the news that I didn't even pay attention to my YouTube chats. I'm going there right away. So if where is it? Aha, I got it. So if I haven't read your comments so far, please, I'm on it. I'm on it right away. I'm on it. Let's see. Love Arik Adeolu Ifeolu is off. Is here saying stopping by, and I'm saying hi to Didi. Hi to you too. Thank you very much for being a part of it. Patrick Vaught is saying Gazi should go to therapy. Gazi has been on a roll. I don't know. Whatever the situation is with Gazi, I wish you love and light. Hawa has a reaction. She said, on the DRC issue, there was a recent meeting less than 2 weeks ago where Rwanda, who allegedly are partly responsible for the unrest in DRC, was deflecting to take responsibility of their participation. They were citing reasons of not wanting another Tutsi kind of war. But I ask, is DRC an ethnicity in Rwanda? Of course not. It's not. It's an independent nation. DRC. It's an independent country of its own. But a Hutu and Tutsi thing. Anyway, this meeting was held at the African Court at Arusha in Tanzania. Wow. Thank you for that. I think that was the one I was making reference to earlier when I talked about meetings of some African leaders coming together. They had conversations, they had talks. This one said, oh, do this right. This one said, and again, right, this is why I keep talking about some of these meetings not just ending up on talk level. We're just going to be having opinions and playing to the gallery, coming to, standing for photo ops. When they take photos, they just go back to status quo. Nothing is done about it. It's really heartbreaking. It's really, really heartbreaking. Very vital question that Awa has asked on YouTube this morning. If you actually follow that meeting, if you watched it, you can. I mean, it's the age of information now. You could access the videos, so you watch the meeting and how it panned out. And she has rightly observed that Rwanda, who are allegedly responsible for I like the fact that I use allegedly, who are allegedly responsible for the unrest in DRC, they were deflecting. They didn't want to take responsibility for that situation in DRC. They were citing reasons of not wanting another Tutsi kind of war. But again, more importantly, is DRC an ethnicity in Rwanda? No, it is not, my darling. No, it is not. Thank you. More information. Wow, thank you. So the meeting was held at the Africa Court of Arusha in Tanzania in February 2025. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure we're talking about the same meeting now. I'm very sure we're talking about the same meeting. I just hope that in the end, right, it's not just about, because there is an unrest. Let's do a meeting because people expect us to do a meeting. And right after the meeting, we pull the suits we wore to the meeting and just return to eating our buns and guguru. It's really heartbreaking a situation. Anyway, we'll just draw the curtains here for a bit. But hey, we're not at the end of the show yet. We will come back in a bit, top of the hour, 8 o'clock, to now see some stories from around Nigeria. We're hearing about a likely scarcity situation in Nigeria, scarcity of fuel. Likely. I hope that it doesn't see the light of day. Reactions coming in on the issue of children who become victims of circumstance. It would be a good idea to make room for them. Thank you. And I love that UN is finally doing right by these people. I love that. We are not leaving them because the stigma they get to face in the hands of people generally, especially if you turn out biracial, it's not even supposed to be a problem. But because it is a case of an absentee father, a situation you had no control over, you just see that they begin some kind of comments about them, saying stuff. But in the end, right, I'm really glad that they're making an effort to right these wrongs, to do right by these people. All right.